Good morning, pregame crew. It is Friday, August 25th, 2023. I'm in the middle of a sneezing fit, which is why I'm a little late jumping on. I'm actually not late. I'm super early, but I log on early to do an audio-visual check, say hello to my friends, and do a few chart requests to get my TA muscles warmed up. And my nose just does not want to cooperate this morning. Thank you, Rob. I appreciate it. Oh, allergies are so much fun. Good morning, Marvin. How are you? I hope you're doing okay. Hey, Rob, Lori C. Nugget. Hey, Tom, Greg, Topher, Alnick, Lon. Hey, Sir Fernando, Cliff, Hector, Marshall, Tess, George, Bass, Jody, Geo Guitar, Mal, John, Mike, Card Lady, Mr. Gugster. So we were reviewing our content that we put out that's public, and then our content for members only, and we're trying to just analyze what's working, what's not, and we're talking about the pregame show and do we want to make changes to the pregame show next year. And Joey's like, Lori has like this group of following, like they're pretty serious, my little cult. I love it. I love that y'all are here every day. I really appreciate the support. I hope I help you a little bit. Just like you help me by being here. You're welcome. Oasis Kid. Topher, don't you love it? Moro. Mask air purifiers. I do have an air purifier in my office. South Africa. Sounds beautiful. Okay, I'm going to go back up to the top, see if we have any chart requests. We have Jerome Powell speaking at 10:05 a.m. Eastern. So at Jackson Hole Symposium last year, that was a major market moving event. I don't know if the sell-off yesterday were people de-risking into today's event and saying, I just don't want a lot of money on the table. So maybe we've already seen the big drop and then we get the bounce today. If he says anything that's unexpected at 10:05 Eastern, that's 35 minutes after the market opens, we may need to brace ourselves. Okay. What was the verdict, Tom, on the pregame show? We're still trying to work it out. I really want the pregame show to bring value to everyone, and we did start it out as a public thing to possibly draw new members in and help our current members. But we want to make sure that we're providing exclusive content to the members. So maybe next year, a couple of the shows per week would be for members only. That's what we're kind of throwing around. Tammy, you're the president of the cult. And I throw around the word cult jokingly, of course. We're just a group of good friends. Hey, Brian. Okay, AMD and Splunk. Okay, that's what you were asking about. I couldn't figure out what you were asking for. Yeah, Roblox held too. Yeah, Splunk had earnings and it held up pretty good. I have this ATR. I'm going to toggle that off for now, but we do have elevated ATR on so many names. We have a lot of volatility out there. I think it's because our liquidity is drying up and we have some liquidity issues, and we can talk about that. Yep, SPLK is strong. I would keep it on back burner watch. I had some of y'all give your condolences to me after the market opened with AI. Y'all, AI yesterday, we had written on the chart $33. 33.16 was the high, or 33.19 was the high. And I actually typed on here, I said $33. Below that, no long. Then we would be looking short. So hopefully you got that trade. If someone thinks that I went long AI, I did not go long AI. AMD was another one that I typed on the chart, 110. So below 110, this is a no-go. And I showed you the daily squeeze. Look how powerful these squeezes are when they fire. Below 110, it was a short. And I had it typed right there. Well, right in there is where I had it typed. So AMD is a reverse back burner setup for me, meaning I would look to short 5 or 15 minute overbought conditions in regular trading hours. I am looking for more follow through on this squeeze. Look at our squeezes we had yesterday. This was the best one. This chart was beautiful. And this is what I had typed out. Long signal above 86.30. Let me zoom in a little more. And our early short signal was 85.72, and then 85.64 was the go sign for conservative bears. So we had our short signal up here. If you took that trade, you had a beautiful, beautiful day. And I want to see if I can show you. This was kind of mind-blowing yesterday. You're asking me about AMD, and I was just looking at this chart. They had puts yesterday at open. The 101 puts were a nickel at open. Once AMD lost 110, you could have entered 101 puts, and look at that. I mean, 20. I don't even know how to do that math. That is some crazy, crazy returns. Well, I can. Let me do it. $31,000%, I don't know, something like that. 31 times. Crazy, crazy. There's so much opportunity. Let's look at Disney. If you'd have had the 80 puts yesterday. Maybe I'm not doing that right. Yeah, I'm not doing that right. Okay, I'm just gonna let that go. For real, Joka. Hey, Bennett. I don't know how I feel about shorts on gold. Dollar right now tapped on 104 psych and then pulled back just a little bit. If this is a topping pattern on the dollar, which we've been looking for that for a while now and it hasn't happened. So I'm not keen on a gold short here. I am more comfortable as a gold bull here than I am a gold bear. It doesn't mean it won't work. If the dollar continues to rip, I would anticipate the gold wouldn't be able to stand up to it. All right, we have data today. The Jackson Hole Symposium has already started. At 10 a.m. we have some Michigan data, and 10:05 is when Chair Powell speaks. And then we have the Baker Hughes rig count today. All right, let's get this show on the road. Good morning. Welcome to the pregame show. This is who I am. I'm Chart Gal Lori, and I'm part of the Chart Guys community. If you want to give me a follow on Twitter, that would be lovely and wonderful. What I do here every morning is I go over the economic events, get you ready for the trading day. Next week, we have JOLTS, PCE, and GDP. So big data, heavy data-laden week next week as well. I show you this table where it kind of shows how I'm formulating my thesis, and I'm looking more bearish than bullish today. Things are pointing in that direction. We are getting a bounce overnight, cooling things off. And the dollar. The dollar is the story. We need the dollar to sit the frick down for the market to get the bounce going. Otherwise, it's a no-go. I have my notes off screen. I copy and paste those for TCG members only when I am done. And my thoughts and prayers are out there, Louisiana folks. If I don't know if you've heard about the fires in Louisiana, they're impacting my family. And this little fire right here, right in the middle of the state, that's where I'm from. So this was the view from my cousin's porch yesterday. This is her front porch, and there's the fire. My parents were there trying to help bring in ice and water to the firemen. So lots of fires in my little neck of the woods with probably 400 family members in that area. So praying everything goes okay today and they get them out, and maybe we could get a rain. My goodness, give us some rain. All right. Back to business. DLTR, Fat N, you're always just kind of sliding in there. Yeah, I can, Brian. You're right. You're right. You're right. DLTR is weak. Oh, it looks like they really bombed on earnings. It's not because I wasn't trying to help them. I tried to help them. I introduced my son to Dollar Tree the other day. I'm like, go shopping here, son. This 123.62, I'd say that's a double bottom with 123.52, and you have a gap down here at 115.05. Doesn't look good. Bounces are for shorting. All right, back to dollar. Okay, so the dollar has potential 4-hour bull flag. Okay, well, let's stay there. 4-hour bull flag. What does that mean for the market? We have potential 4-hour bear flags on the market with bull flag. Now, on most of these charts, we have room, and I'm going to go through them fast, for a daily higher low. NASDAQ looking for a daily higher low. ES looking for a daily higher low. Let's go to our majors. Apple looking for a daily higher low. Amazon looking for a daily higher low. 131.15. It's right there, and we're sitting on the daily 50 MA for Amazon. Nvidia looking for a daily higher low. Tesla looking for a daily higher low. So on our major indices, SPY, QQQ, Apple, Amazon, Nvidia, Tesla, we're looking for daily higher lows. Microsoft, we're looking for a daily higher low. We get rejected from the daily 50 MA overhead. So today will be a pivotal day. Last year, of course, we had the big move down, and I would assume that Powell would want to avoid that, but he has to say whatever it is he needs to say. It's going to happen. So we have a lot of volatility in the market. What happens when we have low liquidity? That's when we have those liquidity probes to the upside and to the downside, and we get major volatility. So we have a weekly inside bar. Do y'all see this? Look at this mess. This is Michigas. This is the drunk lady walking home from the bar in high heels. And I jokingly say that joke because it's just so wonky and it doesn't have any rhyme or reason. Higher high, higher low, higher high, lower low. Because we're probing liquidity. Liquidity is drying up. I have heard the stats, and I don't know them specifically to quote them, but it's like trillions of dollars that are on the sidelines right now. And do you blame them with T-bills printing over 4%? We have a lot of money on the sidelines. So bulls and bears are probing liquidity, saying, where are the blocks of money? Where are they saying value is? Where is it? Is it up here? Or is it down here? The liquidity is in higher and lower places. Everything in the middle is going to get really thrown around. Just think about, I'm trying to think, like a shoe in a dryer, just tumbling and throwing it all around. We don't have liquidity nearby to stop these big exaggerated moves. Yes, we have zero DTEs. Yes, we have algos and computers that are making this great volatility, but it's also because we have a lack of liquidity. And so bears and bulls are probing the top side and the bottom side of last week's range, which was $167, almost $168 range last week, and we're just bouncing around like a shoe in a dryer in the middle of it, and that's why it gets real whippy. So if you've been bounced around in this market, just know you're not alone. ATR on the daily, look at that, $53. We were down at $39 just a month ago, and we're almost double that now. So in July, look at this low volatility. That's why my iron condors selling them worked in July. This is why it's not working in August. Know thyself, know thy instrument, know thy market. This market has some major volatility going on. Look at NVIDIA's ATR, almost $20 per day. And that's the highest in the history of this stock. So someone was asking yesterday, is it more dangerous to trade individual names or ETFs? Look at QQQ. Its daily ATR is $5.90. $5.90. NVIDIA, almost $20. That is a great recipe to get your face ripped off if you don't know. If you're not a consistently profitable trader, a name like NVIDIA could end your career. Yes, I'm being dramatic, but is it true? Yes. Okay, let me get that off. All right. Hang Seng was down 1.41 overnight. DAX was green. DAX is pretty green, 0.66%. And again, we need the dollar to stay below 104. I have the dollar on another screen and I'm going to watch it all day. I need to see this number come down in order to start looking for daily higher lows on a lot of these charts. Okay, ES. Potential 4-hour bear flag. What would negate it? Let me delete all this. 44.20. If we could get a candle close above 44.20 on the 4-hour, that would indicate that the bear flag is negated and we've made enough room for a higher low. We're not there yet. NASDAQ needs to clear 15027 in order to take off this 4-hour bear flag possibility. We're still looking for a daily higher low. So if we have, let me go to another chart. I like to go mess with Hang Seng. So if our most likely scenarios for ES are daily higher lows, and on the 4-hour, we have a bear flag potential. What breaks the tie? We're looking for daily higher lows, but we have a 4-hour bear flag potential. It's the daily. The higher time frame always wins. Daily, the higher time frame carries more value and more weight as far as the most likely scenario. And maybe I could spell that out somehow. So like weekly, let's just say that's 75% weight. It would look something like this. A daily carries a little more weight, and these don't equal 100, but you kind of get what I'm going after here. 4-hour, 25%. So for those of you that are trading these 1-minute charts, what percentage do you think it has as far as indicating a direction and giving you a clear signal? 0.00004%. I'm just being facetious, but I just want to assign some type of math so I can get over to you and convey how important the higher time frames. If you're living your trading life minute to minute, 5-minute to 5-minute time frames, you're having some problems. You're having some major bumps in the road. We need to look at higher time frames. So yes, we have a potential 4-hour bear flag, but what's most important is this daily higher low is the more likely scenario compared to 43.50. Could Jerome Powell totally tear that to shreds this morning at 10:05 a.m. and we make a lower low? Absolutely, because that's a fundamental driver and it could just rip that low right out. So I'm just trying to help you don't get too squirrely and wigged out about this 4-hour bear flag, because on the daily, it's still more optimistic area for bulls, and we're still looking for the weekly higher low, looking for a weekly higher low, looking for a daily higher low. 4-hour, looking for a lower high, and then how this resolves will have a lot to do with how we end our week. And it's all about 43.50. That's last week's low. That's the inside bar we want to hold. What will be the biggest sign of liquidity entering the market? Well, it'll be volume. Let me look at SPY. What was SPY volume yesterday? We had a little bit more than average. The prior 10-day volume was 75 million, and yesterday we had 88 million. But look at it over here. Look at it over here. Over here. Do you see what happened in September? Oh, this is a good one. So look here. June, July, August, boom. You see how liquidity went up? Now look. June, July, and September, I'm expecting the volume to go up, and that should actually bring liquidity down because we have liquidity up and volatility down because we have more money entering the market. So we're definitely in the summertime lull for sure. Okay, NASDAQ. We already went over that. Y'all know what a 4-hour bear flag. Need to get over 15027. We are looking for a daily high or low. RTY is weak. We are trapped below the daily 200 MA. IWM is super, super weak. On the weekly, we're sitting on the 50 MA. We're looking for a weekly high or low. But we are not necessarily looking for a daily high or low on IWM. It is weaker. And I would assume, and we know what the word assume means, that how this resolves will highly impact how Bitcoin resolves. You see how they're kind of similar? This sideways action, because they're risk-off assets. YM, we're sitting on the daily 200 MA, and we are looking for a weekly high or low on the Dow. And we need some of these other sectors to step up. It's been the QQQ show all week. We need some of these other sectors to step up. VIX 4-hour, we're looking for a lower high, and we need this to sit down as well. Bitcoin, we're still in a squeeze, and I'm pausing because I'm trying to choose my words very carefully. Because trust me, whatever comes out of my mouth is just as big a surprise to me as it is to you, because I don't necessarily think before I speak, but I really try to think before I speak, before I infer something that isn't absolutely true. Bitcoin, for me, this just seems like it's a bear trap, because it's just, look down here, look down here. You know those sleight of hand tricks? That's what when I look at Bitcoin, I just see the sleight of hand trick where they're saying, come on in, bears, come on in. Look, we haven't been able to put in a weekly high or low for months, and they rip the bears' faces off. So 24750 is support. I have zero indication that what I'm telling you is true. We're in an inside range. We're inside last week's range. And again, we got liquidity issues over here, major liquidity issues. I mean, look at this volume back here. This is nothing. Nothing. Complete apathy for this chart. Lack of interest. Our RSI is 26. And these 4-hour EMAs, we just keep playing footsie with it. 4-hour pressure continues to build. I would not be surprised for this to break bull. And only because of just the structure of the chart, the volume. If bears were going to take this down, why have they not done it yet? So we're always measuring who's trying to do what and how well are they doing it. Well, bears aren't doing a great job. They've had, since June 12th, 2.5 months to take this down and make a weekly lower low. Why haven't they yet? So none of those things that I just pontificated with you on and brainstormed out loud, those aren't tradable. That's not tradable knowledge that I'm giving you. I'm just walking through the psychology of the chart in my brain and trying to develop a plan based on what I see isn't happening. Sometimes what's not happening on a chart tells you more than what is happening. So Bitcoin resistance 26195 and support 25952. I could sit here and tell you higher highs, higher lows, and call out levels to you all day, every day. It's not going to help you get there in trading. Trading has so much context, nuance, and so many things beyond the chart and pure price action that we have to think through. And I say this often, we have to make time to think. Dan coming up with back burner, Dan coming up with stair step, Dan coming up with most likely scenarios. That he came up with those things during time that he carved out for himself to think. And that's what trading is. It requires you to stop and think. And I know I'm going to have my back burner moment where I come up with a concept of that you can apply to trading, and it'll be a Loriism, because I'm constantly giving myself time to think. And I can't emphasize that enough, that you need to do that for your own trading. I am full of a lot of bull today, am I not? Gold. Gold, We're over the hourly 50 MA, 4 hour is sideways. Daily could be a tiny little daily bull flag. You typically want to be over EMAs. And that's why I'm not overly anxious to short this. I've been telling y'all I'm long for a few days now, and I'm still long. So I don't want to short it right here, and we need the dollar to take a breather in order for this long idea to play out. Oil is bouncing. We're looking for that monthly higher low, this weekly higher low. This is the strongest chart for me. Y'all know how I feel about this chart. And you can, if you're wondering what's in my account, you can bet your bottom dollar 9 days out of 10, 90% of the time, I have USO calls in my swing account because I like this chart and I have not been shy about it. I had some moments where I shorted it and I shared that with you. We are in a long situation, weekly bull flag, potential 4 hour bull flag, potential hourly bull flag. I'm looking for this weekly higher low to be put in. We held the 50 RSI beautifully on the daily chart. All right, Apple, trade keeper. Yeah, that was my Loriism. That was, thank you. I need to give myself credit for that. But I want more. I want more. I want more, more, more. Okay, Apple, we're looking for a higher low. Let me go to my notes. We're holding the low of yesterday for now. Are we still doing that? Yeah. So y'all, if you're wondering again, what's she trading this morning? If Apple comes down and holds yesterday's low and turns, I will be in an Apple long. That's going to be my focus for today. Amazon, yesterday's low also matches up with the 50 MA. Here, 131.83 is the daily 50 MA, and that's also the low of yesterday. Coincidence? I think not. So if we pull back here, yesterday's low, I could trade Amazon too because I like that daily 50 MA sitting right there. Nvidia, we are below yesterday's low. Bulls need to reclaim yesterday's low in order for potential continuation. Otherwise, I would be looking down on Nvidia. So, you know, the more times something happens, it starts getting baked in the cake. So Nvidia earnings, they blew out earnings over here and they raised guidance and we had continuation. Well, we went up 55% between the last earnings and this earnings. So it looked like it was already priced to perfection, that beat. And so it was like, a little blasé. It wasn't as important of a reaction as I thought it would be. So bulls need to reclaim yesterday's low or look out below. And I'd be watching Nvidia. If you want to short AMD, I'd have one eye on Nvidia. Tesla, same thing. Needs to hold yesterday's low. It makes it so simple moving forward. As long as QQQ is holding yesterday's low, if Tesla tests yesterday's low, that's a long signal. I need to get some water. Okay, AMD. 187 is yesterday's low. This daily chart could still have some meat on the bone. We just fired bearishly. Here you see these histogram bars are firing to the downside. We're just getting started. It could have a lot more downside. So AMD would be my pick short. If we drop below 187, I would be looking for more downside continuation. Yes, the hourly chart is almost oversold again, but I don't know that that matters very much. Cost. This is going to be a weird one. I'm looking for a weekly higher low. I was in a swing here in my dad's account from 507. I posted the entry in chat and my exit was 570. Not a bad exit. What did I? Yeah, here it is. Exiting 1/3 of cost in dad's account, 505.40 to 570. And then I got stopped out on the remainder at 545. So now I'm looking for a re-entry in my dad's account. Yeah, hit the like button. We're coming back into that prior nice EQ, that range. I'm looking for a weekly higher low. We lost the daily 50 MA. And so now I would like a daily oversold. Let's set that alert. If we get daily oversold, I'll be looking at a long on cost. And it may not be today. I don't like initiating longs on Friday. I'm very long-winded today. I'm so sorry. Friday, I would post in chat, Fridays are for gardening. That's when I go through my swing account and say, let's pick the weeds. And if there are any pretty flowers in there, I keep them. Like my pretty flower today is going to be USO calls. I'm going to keep them. And if I have names in there that aren't working for me, then I'm going to get rid of them. Traders are the only gardeners that typically leave the weeds and pick out the pretty flowers. You take the green off the screen and you leave the red. So that's not what we're supposed to be doing. Leave the flowers and weed your garden. So I'm looking for a cost long, and that's just generally speaking. Google had a bad day. Okay, let's don't get it twisted. It had a bad day. But man, it looks good. It's holding the 8 EMA still. Bears may get a confirmation day today, and if so, that's great. As long as it's holding the low of yesterday, it's a potential long for me. Roblox, look at that squeeze. Look at this daily chart, RSI 24. We had a stair-step break yesterday. I don't know if you can see it. We broke over the prior day's high yesterday. So stair-step bull break. Not getting a lot of follow-through. We have a squeeze forming. Now, this is one I would take the long. I would take it, but I would not take the short because the daily is oversold. Do you see it? 24. So then I'm only looking long. And down here, let's just say here, not enough meat left on the bone. So it may just dump, and it can dump it'll be dumping without me. All right. But I think that Roblox could be a nice Friday lotto trade long if we can break yesterday's high. VFS. Thank you, Renaissance Man. Levels to enter long. This is an EV company, and I heard, I don't know if it's true. Let's see if, okay. Y'all look here. Market cap, 231 billion. Ford is 47 billion. Do y'all see that down here where I'm shaking my arrow? Okay, y'all see it? Okay, look at GM. 45 billion. Tesla, 730 billion. What's another car company besides GM and Ford? Lucid, that actually has cars on the road. 13 billion. Now, let's go to VFS. 231 billion. Something is awry here. This is going to end in a trail of tears, in my opinion, VFS. And I don't think they have options. I would not short commons. Probably difficult to locate. Yeah, they don't have options yet. But listen to the old lady over here. This is going to end in a trail of tears. Yeah, it could rip up. It could go to $1,000 for sure. It's a low float. And I heard there's only a small percentage, like 3 million trades or something that are shares that are available to trade. It's an extremely low float. So yeah, it's running hard on a low float. But you couldn't throw this in my account to the long side with that type of market cap. I'm not a fundamental trader, but I also need to use my common sense. You're telling me that this is 5, 6, almost 6 times the value of Ford? Get out of here. So if you want to go long, have at it. I would use the low $46 and then $42, but not for me. Yeah, that's what I thought Dano might. So tomato juice, if I like to scale out of winners, of course. So if I have USO calls right now. Let me show you. Let me see. I have 40 US calls right now, USO calls. And I am going to be in profit when the market opens. And I'm going to scale out of probably 10 of those, 10 of the 40. So I'm going to lock in some profit and I'm just going to keep the rest. All right. And if I have a loser in my account, let me look at my account and I'll tell you what loser I have right now. Gold isn't a loser, but it's just a weak. I'm long right now, but if it were to break 1939, I would exit because that would make it red. So that's me getting rid of the weeds. If I have names that are not performing, we have to remember when our money is tied up in other accounts or other names and the name is not performing, that is an opportunity cost. There is an opportunity cost to sit in a name that's not working. If you've been sitting in cost all of this time, waiting for it to bounce, you could have had your money somewhere else this whole pullback. There's an opportunity cost for sitting in a name that's not working. So I want to make sure I weed my account, get rid of the ones that aren't working, keep the ones that are. Hell, maybe even add to a winner. There's a foreign concept versus scaling out a small portion, add to a winner. That's how we build our account. All right, that's it for me. It's been a long week. TCG members, I'll have these notes over to you in a second. Lamont will be live in 1 minute. I appreciate you all being here. If you could hit the like button before you leave, give me a follow on Twitter at CharcalLori. And as always, hit that subscribe button. All right, I love you all. Y'all use stop losses.